Hello everyone, it's Jake. It's been a while since I've done a formal video like this on this channel. I apologize for that, but this is gonna be fun. Actually, let's see. Yeah, this is actually kind of cool. Yeah, nice upshot of my acne. I recently got a battery for my LED light, and it improves things so much. And then I finally figured out how to use the focus ring on this, and it looks kind of cool. But anyway, back to being serious. So today I'm gonna talk about this. And this is something that I wanted for a while. Some people might see it as a bad investment. I don't see it as a bad investment. But if this thing will show up correctly, and if it won't be backwards, it's Kodachrome 40. And it's Kodachrome 40 color movie film, type A for movie light. It's a double 8mm roll. Now this one expired. I got it off eBay about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, something like that. And yeah, the process before November 1984. So it's slightly expired. So I have seen so many things on the internet. Blech, speech is hard sometimes. But I've seen a lot of things online that say, oh, don't buy old Kodachrome stock because, you know, it's useless. Or, you know, there's like a 10% chance it'll actually look visible. It won't be completely washed out. Which, you know, everyone has their own beliefs about that. I'm currently trying to get out of the troll because it does look kind of cool. Kodachrome is a discontinued film stock. It's been discontinued for about a decade now. And the process for developing color Kodachrome is discontinued, so you can't develop it, but some places actually do develop it as black and white. And that's kind of what I'm banking on for this. It is 40 ISO, so that's a very low ISO. Now, I should have started this video with this little preface saying, I'm not an expert on analog film. I'm not. I've watched a lot of videos by a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of people who are very familiar with, you know, analog film and stuff like that. But, you know, part of the process for me is learning. I recently, about a month ago, bought my first 8mm camera, which is a Canon 8. Really, really cool. It actually came from Japan originally. It was released in 1962. It's a Bell & Howell Canon 8. And it's kind of like a, I guess it was, you know, Bell & Howell and Canon worked on an 8mm camera before, but the history that I've seen, they were trying to break into the Japanese market for, you know, home cameras and stuff like that, because apparently their sales weren't really good there, interestingly enough. And this camera, it wasn't a complete bust, but it didn't do well. So now that I finally got this thing open, this is kind of a cool reel. You know, most of the Kodachrome reels that I have and the ones I've seen online, they come in a silver canister. I've actually got another one that expired in 1973, and it's in the silver canister. Something else that's really cool about this is it came with some of the original booklets. You know, if I can get the stupid thing out of the box, something like this, which is actually really cool because it's not just, you know, useful for using the film, even though it's expired, but it's also a cool little historical, you know, thing to have. So you're probably wondering how I plan on using expired film. So, because it is 40 ISO, and it is expired, not exposed, expired. Hope it's not exposed. I actually haven't opened it yet. I should have probably done that. Anyway, I do plan on using it in the summertime. I do have, you know, some ideas for videos planned. Here in Virginia, we have a lot of scenic views of just beautiful valleys, you know, where there are basically mountains everywhere. And I'm hoping if I could get to a really high vantage point, especially, you know, I'd say between 12 to 2, that seems to be when the sun is bright, especially on a sunny day, I might be able to get some really cool views. And, you know, once I start getting the hang of it, especially with the low ISO of this film, I might do some street scenes and stuff like that. I don't plan on shooting a short film with this Kodachrome stock, although I have thought about remaking Der Mordere, my silent short film, with 8mm, because, you know, it was kind of meant to mimic the style of actual film, and now that I have actual film, maybe remake it with actual film, which that's a lot of times say actual film. I should have a counter to see how many times I actually say actual film. But no, this is going to be fun to do. Simply because, like I said, I'm not an expert on this stuff. I've just talked to people, read a bunch of stuff online, and watched some videos. I won't actually know or really learn anything until I actually get into the field and shoot with it. So it is going to be a fun trial and error process. I've got a few different labs that I'm looking at sending it off to. One of them, and the one I'll probably go with for this, is the Film Photography Project. Michael Rosso has been a huge help, you know, with not just the Kodachrome, but also getting me into 8mm in general. I've learned a lot from him. He's answered, all my questions that I've had, which, trust me, it's been a lot. And I do trust that, they'd be able to get the best image possible out of this Kodachrome 40 film, even though it expired, about 40 some odd years ago. So it is going to be fun. I mean, there is that chance that, I can spend all the money, not just on this film. I think I only spent like $5 on this on eBay. I got really lucky with the deal. But, you send it off and it's between like $40 to $70 to get it developed. That's an estimated amount. There's that chance once I spend all that money, have it brought back and, pull it up on my computer digitally, and it would be just like gray static and there'd be nothing there, which, that's okay. I'm perfectly willing to accept that risk. Mainly because also I do understand that if there is absolutely nothing there, I could potentially use the gray static effect as an overlay for some of my regular videos that I'm shooting with my Nikon D5600, which is what I'm using here. I almost pointed at the camera, but that would have messed autofocus up. So if anyone currently watching this video has some tips or tricks, to help me get the best image possible out of this, I'd really appreciate that, either, by contacting me through email, messaging, or by commenting below. I would really, really appreciate it. Any advice is good advice. Any tips is, are good tips. My general plan with this was to wait for a sunny day, double check my ISO, ASA, it says ASA on here. ASA and ISO is basically the same thing. There's a few tricks I might use with the ASA. It says 40, I might up it to see how it looks as a test, see if that might help some more light get into it. But it's going to be a fun trial and error process. And I do have some more film stock that, is supposed to be here within about a week to maybe a month. Shipping has been awful, since all this stuff has started. I'm not going to say it because it might hurt the algorithm, but you all probably know what I'm talking about. But thank you all for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed it, and have a great day.